Beautiful. All right, welcome, guys. Yeah, really excited to have a play around with these RTD cold brew drinks. Exercise. I think that for me, I drink a lot of coffee. There's a lot of really exciting options on the bar all the time. Probably one of the last things that I would go to as a drink to get. So this exercise has been really good for me in learning a little bit more about these products here, more about their application and their use, so that we can find better uses. The main thing that I always found with these when I was on bars, that my approach was, these are, ready to go. It's really, really quick. It's sort of saving time on the bar for the baristas. And I guess that was mainly my approach into where they sort of fit in the market. And I hadn't really tasted them or tried them out in too many different ways. So this was really, really some really exciting sort of possibilities you could do with alcohol with this. And this is probably where I guess the idea for this came from after Linda's post in Workplaces, which sort of showed that it's a really consistent product that bars, for instance, can use to build their drinks, because they know that the product they're building it from is going to be relatively similar. So that's what I wanted to play around with here. Latte and the Ethiopian. So they're the two that we're going to be playing around with today. And I know that we've made some drinks in the past with the blood orange and the straight up. So if anyone was messing around with those ones and found something really, really exciting, we'll have some time at the end of this session to share any sort of recipes that have come up with positive results. I've got a new favorite from these. I really, really love the blood orange and tonic one. I think that was a bit polarizing on bar for a lot of our customers. But yeah, I was really surprised that the oat milk was actually the one that I like the most. That I would take away with me all the time. I think it's a really, really sweet, tasty drink. I think a lot of people would get around this. And what I wanted to do with this drink is play a little bit on a drink that we've done with the straight up cold brew in the past, which was the gingerbread iced latte. Obviously, this being an iced latte as it is already, it makes it much easier to build on that drink. And so what I wanted to do with this one is to take it a little bit further than what we did in the past, which was just I think a treacle spice syrup going into an oat milk iced latte. This one I wanted to add a little bit more texture to that particular drink by giving a layer of foam and also some gingerbread crunch on the top of it. And it's a really, really easy drink to make once you've, I guess, reduced the syrup. Did everyone have a go at making that syrup? I guess you're all on mute. You can probably give a thumbs up if you've had a crack. Did anyone mess around with any different spices or anything going in there? I always found that that fresh ginger was a really, really good addition into that one there. It just gave a little bit more zing to the ginger element on that. Also cloves, star anise, there were other things that added a little bit of depth to this. But the main thing that I found was using something like treacle or golden syrup really gave that gingerbread appeal to the drink, which is what we were going for here. What I've decided to do, and I'm just going to flip over to share my screen here. Let's bring this up. Yeah, so really what I wanted to play on was the gingerbread aspect of this, trying to make two drinks that had a Christmas theme to them. What we've done with this one here is built the drink. Let me just move on to the next slide. We're building the drink in a highball glass. So I've got some of the stuff here. I'm not sure if everyone's got some stuff and they want to build this, or if they've already had a crack and had a taste of this one here. I've got some of the stuff on hand right now, so I can sort of build it in front of you. What we're going to do is a highball glass with some ice in it. A couple of different versions you could do with this. You could do sort of shaved ice. You can definitely shake this. I think this version here, I've initially gone for an oat milk foam. Now I'm at home today, so I don't have a machine to actually make that. So we're just going to pretend. I've got it in the image here. Obviously, if you can see, I've had a crack at doing that. That just really gave the drink a little bit of texture. It's really just I guess, me just trying to play around with what else we could add to this drink. Any more dimension we could give to it. So just going back to, I guess, building this from scratch, what I've got here already is the treacle syrup. One thing I found from playing around with this from the old recipe is that treacle on its own is really viscous. It's really, really hard to mix this in with the rest of the drink. So when I was doing the heating and the dissolving of the spices, I decided to add a little bit of water just to make this a little bit more dilute. I'm going to add this in. I've already got this measured out, made it a bit easier for myself. And then we're going to add our oat milk iced latte. What I've done, and you can sort of see in the picture there, is I've just left a little bit of room to be able to add this texture element on the top. And what I was doing was just adding some of the treacle syrup to just oat milk. I haven't actually experimented. Someone asked me, should I try just trying to stretch the oat milk iced latte can? I didn't really have a go at that. I'm not sure if anyone's had a try at that or if it actually would foam. I was just using standard oat milk. But the other addition that I've added here was just taking some gingerbread and actually just in the mortar and pestle, crushing that up so I can get a foam. So I can get a fine dust, sorry. So, you know, you can imagine I still had that on the top. I'd be able to add that other element of texture onto the top there. It's something that might not have application on bar. Obviously, when you're heating up the oat milk, you're going to have a hot and a cold element. I was just chucking that in the fridge just like I would with a baby chino, just to really quickly get that separation so I could take the solids and put it on the top. More for presentation, more for texture. But I really found that the treacle and that addition of spice works really well with the oat milk iced latte as it is. It's a really, really great versatile drink. Just on its own, the oat milk iced latte can. I think that from maybe the last 2 months of trade, it's definitely become our most popular RTD. I'm not sure what that's if that's mirrored in different states. But yeah, I can see a huge amount of application for these just purely based on the consistency of what's in these cans every time we get them. That's where I guess the excitement on building drinks comes. In the past, if I was making drinks in, I guess, competitions, you're always working around the fact that you still have to brew the coffee element before making the drink. It does make experimenting a little bit harder. With these, you've got a much easier pathway to getting a consistent drink going really quickly because the base that we're building it from is going to be really, really consistent. What was everyone's, I guess, taste when you had this? Is everyone enjoying this? Did anyone change some of the quantities in here to try to sort of boost the flavour in a different way? What was everyone's feedback on this drink when they were making it? I don't usually like make a lot of drinks on bar, so I'm just mucking around with it, but I always like a little bit of feedback. So if anyone does have any or enjoys it and you want to, maybe you could probably unmute. I'm going to.
We're enjoying it now. It's delicious. Did anyone else? Did you make it, Michaela?
No, because I assumed my team were doing
That's
it.
right. And your team
None of them are here.
Yeah.
But we have done the gingerbread before, so
that was with the straight up can, wasn't it? First can.
yeah, so I understand the concept. So yeah, I love that. Even that gingerbread with the straight up was amazing.
Yeah.
So I'd be excited to see about how this one goes with the oat milk.
Yeah, it's really, I mean, it's the thing I love about this oat milk, it's sort of got that cereal milk vibe to it. It's really, really hearty, really nostalgic. That's where I guess the two flavors for these two drinks were coming from. just nostalgic Christmas flavors. Gingerbread. The second one we're going to play on is cherry, but when I think of Christmas, they're two flavors that just jump out at me as a really, really obvious Christmas-related flavor. And that's what we're wanting to incorporate when we're working with these drinks, especially in the lead up to Christmas, and seeing some application to adding them on as a quick addition to a bar menu, just as a way to just boost sales or appreciation of these products in our range.
I think, and us to then share with wholesale world, because then there's such an easy to use on the bar. And like you said, it's just, even just selling cans, it's far easier than making an iced latte. So yeah, I think us sharing these recipes with wholesale would be good.
Yeah, that's really yummy.
Yeah.
The second drink that I was mucking around with was with the Ethiopian can. And this is actually the one I thought I would enjoy the most, just based on the fact that it's one of my go-tos when it comes to origins. And it's a really, really tasty drink just on its own. But that sort of berry note in there was really what I was wanting to play on with this cherry cola style beverage with this drink here. The fresh cherries and Christmas thing is probably my favorite thing when it comes to Christmas. So so playing around with this is really something that I wanted to do. Getting the cherries, I guess earlier on in December was a little bit harder here, but I found this 100% cherry juice I think it's just in Woolworths. It's pretty common, so it's a really, really easy thing to get that gave us the ability to have that sweetness in the drink. This is a really, really easy one. There's no prep needed with this. It's literally just build in front. But you can play around with the different levels of cherry, or if you wanted to add lime or cherry as the garnish on this one. So I'm just going to build it straight away. We'll do the same thing. Whole ice or crushed ice. If you really want to go bougie, I was seeing some people just freezing cherries in the middle of those big ice cubes. So that's a really, really nice look if you want to do something else like that. I found I liked a little bit more of the cherry juice in this one here, just to cut through, especially if you're using a different cola. I don't have any bougie cola right now. My fridge turned off and I've sort of lost the ones I had. So just for appearance. So I'm going to put 40 grams of the cherry juice in. And then I've got the Ethiopia cold brew. Ooh, label placement. Actually gone a little bit too high there. I'm going to put a little bit less of this cola because it's nasty. But the Bilson's one, or any of those really, really nice sort of boutique colas, even Canotto was quite nice with this when I was mucking around. Lime wedge. Summer. This one here is, yeah, I really, really love cherry cola. It's something that's, ooh, yum.
Lucky got Dr. Pepper.
What's that? Yeah, that sort of Dr. Pepper sarsaparilla sort of vibe to it. Different colas, depending on what you're going to use, you can have slightly different texture. I think that's probably where there's a little bit of movement on the recipe. If you like, you could probably go 50-50 in terms of cola and cold brew, depending on how much of those flavors you want to accentuate. How did everyone go with playing around with this one? Yeah, it's the one I made earlier.
We're just making it now.
Oh, okay.
How much cherry did you put in, Mike?
I've got 40 grams in there.
So if we were to use fresh cherries, like you mentioned, how much would we use?
I haven't actually done it with the fresh cherries because I haven't been able to get them.
Yeah. So it needs
the
to be
fresh cherry was more. I mean, you could use the fresh cherry as the garnish. This might be an easier way to have a more consistent cherry element to the liquid.
Yeah.
Although, you know, like I'd be really interested to try that once we start seeing some of them here.
Oh God, you not got cherries yet? They're everywhere in Queensland.
Oh yeah, no. Not so, when we did the last knowledge chat, I couldn't even find stone fruit. It's like what's going on?
It's like you're in Antarctica, but you're not.
Yeah. No COVID, no fruit, no.
No friends.
No friends, no fun. That's it. So while everyone's, I guess, sort of finishing off making that and having a little taste of that, has anyone had any success playing around with these drinks in any other ways or any of the other cans?
I've been making stuff for a little while. I haven't had any ideas yet. But yeah, we'll get stuff happening soon.
Yeah, sort of. I guess without having this exercise for me personally, I'm generally trying to manage my caffeine intake in a bit of a priority system, and I feel like the cold brew cans is probably the lowest on the priority for me. So I'm really, really glad that I chose to do this, because otherwise I wouldn't have got to know these products as well as I do. And now I can see how, I guess, how versatile they are from a sales point of view as well. I think this is probably where my interest in pursuing, I guess this is a topic, came up. It was more from what Linda was saying with cocktail bars and how they can use this to build those drinks and as a more guaranteed product than pulling shots of espresso, I say, in those sort of bars. So it can give our BDMs a different avenue, I guess, into how they could push these products out there. And especially if we have these on the bar in our cafes in different and exciting ways that we show our wholesale accounts that there's more possibilities than just the grab and go model, which is obviously the main, I guess, the main placement I saw for them in the market, was that they're really, really quick and easy. We can get people at the point of sale with them, especially in summer. They look fantastic, but they also have some different application if we want to delve a little bit deeper as well.
That tastes really good, Mike. Well, we did it with the Dr. Pepper.
What are you talking about? Yeah, it's I was
Dr. Pepper. I reckon a bit of gin in that tastes even better.
That's why I'm at home, because I can just go over to the side of the camera and I'll. No. Yeah, but that's exactly right. There's for cocktail bars where they're building with guaranteed flavors in the spirit range, to have the same thing for something like this is gonna I guess it's a useful thing to try to approach. Yeah.
Did you play around with other kinds of cold brew in this recipe? Like, did you stick with the Ethiopia, the best one?
I initially I made this one with the straight up, and that was just because we couldn't get any of the Ethiopian for the last 2 weeks. So it was really just sort of mix and matching. They're pretty similar, I guess, in terms of with these other ingredients, how they sort of work. But yeah, the Ethiopian does give that extra sort of I guess dimension of sort of berry in the coffee side of things. But yeah, it's probably one that's got enough possibility to move across both of those. Yeah.
I reckon the orange one as well.
Yeah. Do you guys have any? Have you used any other mixtures with the blood orange one?
No, I always found it a little bit difficult. Yeah, it kind of was overpowering sometimes.
Yeah.
It's our internet.
So I don't really have anything more in relation to these two drinks. The only thing that we did discuss was sort of, I guess, a little bit more of sort of sharing. So if anyone else did have any other, I guess, sort of applications they found for these or approaches to these on bar that would be useful for the rest of us to know, yeah, feel free to let us know. This is, I guess, it's all about sort of sharing and sort of learning off each other. So if anyone's found, you know, even slight tweaks to these recipes that have come up better than what I've done, that's something that I'd like to learn from as well.
Hey, Linda, how about Paul's drink, the signature drink that they did? Did they share that recipe with you?
There was that Tonka cream one. Is that the one?
It's frozen. She's fully frozen. I think.
Oh, me?
While she comes back, can we ask Mike to do could we get him in a Santa hat and get him to do that, like do a little video for our wholesale customers, and we could put it on our Insta?
Yeah.
You mean like?
Come on, Mike, get involved. You could make it really tinselly and, you know.
Do that. Sure.
Good. Great. I'll tell marketing.
Are you there? Are you there, Linda? I can see Linda moving.
Hello.
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 Hello. How about the father's
Hi.
drink they used the lab?
Yeah, he did.
So what did they do?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, this internet is shocking.
I can hear you.
Look, I don't know what the exact measurements was like. It was like an Australian Christmas gin. It was like an Australian Christmas gin that they kind of made themselves with like native Australian ingredients. Mr. Black coffee, and then sort of Tonka cream, and they made it with a vanilla float sort of thing. It was like an espresso martini kind of vibe, but it tasted like tiramisu.
Did you share that recipe on Workplace, or was it just the article?
I didn't share the recipe. It was just that. It was just the gram post.
Can you find out?
Well, can I go there even after?
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can. No, I can do that.
Awesome. And then Mel, how did you sell so many cold brew cans over the last 2 months? You sold 605, I think, or 602 cans. How did you guys do it? Now she freezes.
Sorry, I don't know if that's me or. Well, I don't know. It could be.
You there, Mel?
Hello? Yeah, okay, sorry. So yeah, basically
we can't hear anything. She's like frozen on our end.
Jade, it's really bad.
How about if you turn your video off? Will that help?
Okay, yeah.
Tell her to let me, because I've got headsets.
Oh, okay. Maybe you can let Mike in, and then I can go.
Here you go.
Onto his.
Hey.
Hello. I feel like this is better.
Yeah. I'm just gonna put.
Hello. Hi. So I guess we're pretty lucky. We had the weather that was like for cold brew drinking weather, but look, during lockdown, it was a good opportunity to figure out where things are best situated placed in the cafe for retail. So not just like items in the fridge, but all of our other stuff, just thinking about how like the customer comes through the door and what they see. So that was fun for me to think about. But in regards to like selling heaps of cold brews, it's so funny. Like I put a PowerPoint somewhere like back in the cafe because I was worried about how the fridge would look, and it would, ruin how beautiful our cafe is. But like, unless it's in people's face, like they won't care. So during lockdown, while takeaway, I was able to like move the fridge around, kind of move it closer and closer. I don't know if anyone's been to Surrey Hills, but I sort of put it at the end of where the toaster sits at the end of the bar there. So it was easy for the customers, but, and then just like, yeah, I guess it's just about product placement and just being, I mean, I'm sure all of you guys know that, but also like, especially if you're like, if people were in a rush, it was always just a suggested sell point for like whoever's on the till, like, yeah, cool. You want to just grab a cold brew can, just grab it out of the fridge, off you go, fix it up as you leave, sort of thing. But definitely like, even like we've tried the ice bucket thing in front of because we have minimal space to work with, it was really like about just getting that fridge and putting it closer to people. But like Mike was saying, like just being able to get people to see it as just pure convenience. Having the beach really close, not really like kind of close to us was, it's like a 10-minute drive. It's not on the doorstep, but it was like Sydney ciders are all about convenience. So, and they're happy to pay. So yeah. And I think the branding of it, like if I'm to be completely honest, like you want to touch it and you want to hold it, like it's probably my favorite part of our rebranding, but like, and it was easy to get behind it and be like, yeah, it didn't have ridiculous movement names on it. So yeah, that's my 2 cents, 50 cents. I can't hear anything though. Hello?
Hello. Oh, no one's
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's I hope, is that okay, Jade? Like my little, yeah. Definitely it needs to be like, if selling anything needs to be just easy for the customer to process what it is in their mind, because there's a lot of shit to look at. And I think, easy to grab.
And I think it's just, and it's easy for the baristas as well. Like
Totally.
Yeah, when you get a docket for a cold brew can, awesome.
Yeah.
Put that away.
And for us, it's a bit more like consistent as well. Like we do make our own house-made cold brew because I'm using up the retail that we have left over that hasn't sold. But I feel like it's just a bit more like 100% consistent, that the customer will like, that's the flavor, whether they like it, like if they like it, cool, it'll always be that flavor for like straight up and oat latte sort of, yeah. But we're having trouble pushing the orange ones because I think it's a bit of an acquired taste.
Yeah, I don't like the orange.
Yeah.
I only like the last two flavors, like the latest flavors, the Ethiopian and the oat. I don't like it.
I think like a sparkling one is really cool. It just might have to be something more like a grape soda coffee or something like that rather than orange, because I think Jaffa is a real, like that chocolate orange is a real acquired taste. And like my 88-year-old dad likes it, like he's they're dying, literally dying breed.
Sell it to him then, Mel.
Oh yeah. I want the family discount though.
Awesome.
So can I jump in? You mentioned about the ice bucket with the cold brews. Did you find that worked? We've got a customer who's thinking about doing that.
I'll just hang here. Pardon? So sorry, could you say that again?
With the ice bucket,
Yeah.
did you find that was successful? Because we've got a customer that's talking about doing that.
I think in some aspects it does work, but I think unless you have like I don't know, I didn't work on our bar because it was just, you had to like condensation everywhere. And also like, I don't like the idea of people like being COVID and lockdown. I didn't like the idea of people just touch things and put it back. So I didn't like the idea of that. And if you go to a fridge, you're pretty committed to getting something out of there because you think of the effort of opening it. Like it, you know, it's funny, but it's true.
Yeah. Ah, cool.
Yeah.
Almost like the ice bucket works for the eye candy, but you sort of just want to have it there so they see it and think about it, but it's less about you wanting them to grab it out of the point of sale and making everything wet. But yeah, I know what you mean. Whenever we put it there, everyone's thinking about them straight away. So yeah. Has anyone else got any more input in regards to, you know, like different ways that they've been using these on bars or different approaches for selling them? Essentially, like everything on my end, I've sort of already run through all that sort of stuff. So if anyone else has got any more input, this is the, I guess, the time.
I had one thought for the blood orange that I haven't tried it, so I don't know if it'd be good or not, but it was just something I was thinking about. Is to like do like an old fashioned, like a whiskey old fashioned, because it's got the orange flavor in it. And so what I actually want to do is I wanted to freeze the cold brew into the ice cube and then use that to dilate into the rum or the whiskey. So if anyone gets around to trying that, that's something that I want to investigate and see how that goes.
Yeah, that sounds good. I think like it, and that sort of opens up that other door in terms of this world that that we're probably not approaching as much as the cafe world with these drinks. You know, there's all the bars and cocktail bars that might find really useful application for this sort of stuff here. That maybe you know, would be a worthwhile thing for the BDMs to go out with these products and try that side of the market with them and see whether or not, you know, we get you know, some takers or some interest in that side. Either way, that's all from me. So if no one else has any more input, we'll probably leave it at that for today. If you've still got some of these cans around after work, gin is really good in these ones. So bump them up a little bit or try Tyson's little whiskey idea there. And yeah, enjoy.
Thank
Good to see you guys.
Mike.
Thanks.
And I'll chuck this up onto Workplace. Do you mind sending me the presentation as well, Mike? And I'll put that up on there as well.
Yeah.
Thank you all. And that's it for Coffee Knowledge for this year. So we'll probably, our next one probably won't be till February. Because, you know, everyone will be away in Jan. So if there's someone else that would like to run the February one, maybe Tyson can do it while he's driving.
Just don't make coffee and drive. That's the
don't drink and drive.
Yeah, no, but make coffee and drive. It's fine.
These knowledge talks have been great fun just to connect with everyone and hear everyone's ideas and share stuff. So thank you for all getting involved.
Thanks for organising it.
Yeah, cheers.
No problem. Okay, have a good Chrissy, everyone.
Good to see you.
See ya.
See you next year.
Ciao.